Hi friend, hey you, what's up? So I have a few minutes to talk before I have to log in. I'm trying to watch it here on the computer. You're behind, the computer's behind me. And I'm also trying to figure out this, I don't know if you guys, if y'all have kids and they're doing fundraisers. It's not like the fundraisers I used to have in school. Let me just say that. Cool. What am I going to talk about today? What do you want to talk about? Super Bowl was last night. Me, personally, I liked the halftime show last night. I keep looking at the clock because I'm going to have to pull it up. I enjoyed the halftime show, and my reason for that is it was not over the top. It wasn't boom, 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 in your face, lights, boom, pop, look over here. Someone's jumping out of here. Someone's coming down from the ceiling. It wasn't like that. And I liked it. I liked the simplicity of it. I liked that he came out, he sang, he did his, some of his biggest hits that everyone knows him for. And he did stuff. He shined his smiley smile. He did all that. He sang. He did a couple thingies, but who am I to say, oh, you could have done this, you could have done that. I'm not a performer. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to be in front of that many people, and I wouldn't want everybody watching me to mess up. He played it safe, which is fine, cool. I like that there was only one person. There was not two people. So it's because it's like they have to compete for the spotlight. They have to compete for the spotlight. Then they have to mash up all their songs together. And it's like, oh, you get 35 seconds. You get 35 seconds. Let's do this and spit out some stuff. I liked it. I think as a society, we're all, I don't know, not brainwashed, but it's like we're expecting to have lights and everything happening, and it's like right now, do it, and boom, 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 and it was just simple halftime show, and I liked it. Whatever, that's my opinion. Do you have one? Do you care about mine? No. Does it matter? No. I'm just gonna drink my coffee for a few minutes. I see the reflection. Can you see it? The reflection. It's Optimus Prime riding the dinosaur. Tom did this. Let me see if I can get him to show you. See, Optimus Prime. Roll out, Autobots, roll out. Isn't that what he says? I don't even remember. Can of tomatoes is holding you up. Don't move. Sit very still and let's just chat, even though I don't really know what to chat about. Why did I come on here? I don't know. Maybe I'll know. Oh, let's talk about the dog. Let's do that because I'm having problems with this dog. I know I've not told you about him yet. There's not a whole lot to tell him other than we got him from the Humane Society, I think in May, so it's almost a year that we've had him, and I feel like he's sliding downhill, downhill, like not sick or anything like that. It's just that when we lived at the house, he never went in our garbage. He didn't care. He didn't go in the kitchen. He didn't do any of that stuff. He didn't go in our bathroom garbages. Nothing. There was a couple dogs that lived in the neighborhood. He might growl a little bit, but he would stop. He wouldn't chase after them. He chased after a person one time, and I don't know if I've told you that, but stop walking in our yard, I guess. So he did that, but after we sold the house, we moved in with my mom for a couple months, and their garbage they kept out in the kitchen, but the way her house is set up, it was more in, dining, living room, kitchen, you've seen it, whatever. And he used to get into that a lot. He started that. And then he started in the bathrooms, like eating panty liners and Kleenex and Q-tips and used stuff. So we had to start putting that up, and it started with that. And I'm like, what is your deal? And then we moved here, and he's done the same thing. And it's getting the point where it's the last 4 nights in a row, every single night. I'll go to put the kids to bed. I come out. I keep the lid on the garbage closed because, oh, he got up on our stove on the counter and pulled a pork chop off the plate and ate a pork chop while I was putting the kids to bed. What else has he done? He got up the other day, and it wasn't even to the edge, it was pushed back, got up on our counter and licked the icing off of a cake. Like, what? I come out from being outside. The spatula is on the ground, licked clean. The tinfoil that was covering the cake is on the ground, and half of my cake has got the icing licked off. And I'm like, what the freak? What the heck? He's constantly at the ground, sniffing, licking anything, anywhere he can. I'll put the kids to bed. Just examples of this week. Garrett left his empty cup on the floor in front of the couch over here. It had flavored water, like nothing good. I go in my bedroom and I find the cup torn. It's a plastic cup from like a to-go cup. Torn apart, completely squished and chewed and holes, the straw over here, the lid over here. He had totally eaten it. Was it night before last? Amelia, I don't know if you can see it. There's like a cup holder in this one. I had a little carton of orange juice that she drank half out of before she went to bed. I come out, it's in my room. My carpet is wet. He's tried to chew it. Straws over here. Like, why? Getting in the garbage. Paper towels. It's like paper products. He will eat them. I was cooking the other night, and there was a lot of juice in the chicken that I was cooking. So during it, I put some paper towels in to soak up the juice. I threw it in the garbage, okay? I turn around to do something. I go back to throw something else away. They're gone, completely gone. He has eaten the paper towels. Like, I don't know what his deal is, and it's so frustrating. Okie dokie. I'll see you in a minute. We'll pause this conversation. We'll pause. I'll see you in a second. Hold tight. I feel bad for him because at our house he could, I mean, we didn't have much land at all, but he was still able to go outside and sit like in the flower bed, and there wasn't going to be 50 million people driving by and walking by and have all these dogs and stuff. And there's so many smells here. I totally understand that. Even though these are brand new apartments, no one's ever lived here, I still get it. And since we moved in, there's been so many new people that have moved in. So there's like so many. He has a vet appointment tomorrow. We took him, when did we take him last? November, probably. And he's, in my opinion, he's not overweight. He has neck rolls, but I think that's just the kind of dog he is. He was about 80 pounds when we adopted him from the Humane Society. We got him down, you know, they were feeding him like 3 times a day, wet and dry. All this because, I mean, they're in a cage all day. Duh, that's like their only happiness is food. So we did like the salmon and fish thing because he's had these weird spots on his belly. They almost look like ringworm, but they're not. And he smells like Doritos, not Fritos. It's not his feet. He just he stinks. And we'll get him bathed and he still stinks. It's so gross, like within a day. I wash his blankets and everything once a week, and I don't know what to do with him. Every once in a while, you throw a ball, he'll get it, but he's not like a dog that plays and will go do stuff. So it's always been hard to do, and even taking him for a walk, he's like done within a couple minutes. He's just like, okay, I'm ready to go. You know, we see these 2 cute little puppies, not puppies. He's, how old is he? He just turned 5 in November. It was him and his sister, and she was the prettiest brindle color. Like, I wanted the sister. She was gorgeous, but then they're like, well, they have to be together. But she was sick. That was the thing, was she was sick, and she wasn't adoptable. They had been raised by someone, I don't know. And then I guess circumstances, they couldn't keep them anymore. They were older. Not the people, but the dogs had gotten older. So it was always him and his sister, right? He has severe separation anxiety, and I don't feel like it's as bad as it was when we first got him. but he could not go anywhere without his sister, you know, like they had to take them out, they had to do stuff like this. So they got adopted, and the people that adopted him had kids probably smaller than mine, and they were always bothering him, and he was really scared and always hiding. And what the Humane Society thinks is that his sister had gotten hit by a car or something, because when they brought her back, they're like, we don't know what's wrong with her, she's fine. But she had two basically like broken legs, like something was wrong with her legs, and it was gonna cost about $4,000 to get it fixed, because we checked through several different vets, because we were gonna adopt her and deal with that and him, because you know, you didn't want to like do that to them. But she was waiting some tests. She was peeing blood, you know, she was having all these kidney problems. So like I said, I think something happened to her, and when they took them back and was like, not my problem anymore, because he was like shaking the whole time. For several days after we even got him, he was like constantly shaking. He couldn't go anywhere without you. He just severe, and he was like so mopey and sad. Because, you know, it was like his sister, it was always them. They eventually had to put her down, because we even took him back. I think I took him back 2 times to see if I could find another dog for him, because I'm like, he needs something other than us, you know? But he's proved not to do well with other animals. He has tried to bite at someone here when Tom took him out. He has tried to go through the screen when people come by. It's like, and he's not mean towards people. It's just all of a sudden he'll run, bark, you know. It's crazy how he's been. And then the last time we took him to the groomer, probably a month ago, I was waiting out in the car because I was a few minutes early. They're like, oh, they just have to do his ears, I think. They were working on his nails. And he bit, but he didn't bite. The lady that's always worked with him, I mean, she's a young girl, she's always worked with him. She comes out, she has this like bruise on her cheek. There was no blood, you know, no scratches, but you could tell. And what happened is they have him up on the table or whatever, doing their feet and stuff, and she went to do his ears, which is, when we got him, he had ear infections, and I think he's just always had an issue with his ears too. They had him up there, and I think she went to pull him towards her to be able to do something, and he was like trying to go back, and he was almost like strangling himself, and she went to pull him towards her or something, but he went like, you know, to be like, you know, stop, like to turn his head, and he was like, you know, and his tooth like got her cheek or something. I'm not even sure. When we took him to the vet, he was throwing up in the mornings, and it would be like right when he got up, and it would just be kind of foamy. So she's like, okay, we're gonna have to put him on famotidine. I'm like, Garrett's on that for acid. We were feeding him 2 cups a day of food, you know, morning and evening. And she's like, okay, well, maybe the time is too long from bedtime to waking up, you know, and his stomach is whatever. So, and she's like, oh, he's overweight too. I think he was like 60 pounds there, and they want him to be like 50 something. I'm like, dude, he's not a little dog. Like, I feel like he's obsessed with food and anything food right now, to where that's like all he's ever doing, like constantly on the ground sniffing and licking. And I'm like, what we do now is, she's like, okay, feed him half a cup less. Anyway, I feed him 3/4 a cup in the morning, 3/4 a cup at like 4, and then a little bit before bed, I feed him a 1/4 cup. Like, it's like 10 pieces of food. Not really, it's a 1/4 cup, but it's just like, Tom's like, oh, we gotta feed him his like 10 pieces. And I mean, he does okay with that. He's excited for it, but so he's going back. We're gonna have him do like allergy stuff to test for the weird stuff that was on his belly. Oh, that's what I was talking about. We did the fish and potato diet from the other vet by where we used to live. We did that for a while, and it got expensive because I was giving him salmon and all this stuff, and just salmon and potatoes, and it was making him stink even worse. I'm like, I can't do this. So took him off of that, and I found this really nice food. I'll put a picture up. because I had to like research for foods for dogs that are sensitive and stuff like that, and he seems to be tolerating it. It's okay. I just feel bad for him that we don't have a place for him to roam around and be able to do whatever. I mean, he's usually laying right here on his little thing, but he's probably in my room on his bed. Excuse me, chilling. But so that's like the story of Cooper. Let's see if he'll come out. Cooper, you gotta go potty? What are you doing? What are you doing? What am I doing? You gotta go potty? You gotta go potty? Yeah, you gotta go potty? Oh, you gotta go potty? That's our story about Cooper. Like I said, a vet's appointment tomorrow. So we're gonna see what all is said and how much he weighs and all that good stuff. So thank you for listening to my story about the puppy. And that's it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.